I do want to start off with the Jay-Z blowback. I've seen that the Rock Nation, Jay-Z puppets in the media have like been dispatched. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. I see why they say that, me and Drake are funded by MAGA because y'all voice are very low. I don't think y'all at this point. I see where the jealousy comes from. I don't think these guys can set a narrative to save their life. So I kind of watched a couple people talk about Jay-Z and I was like, yeah, all right, anyway. But I do want to say this, because, I think a lot of people are a little bit confused.
Yo, what it is. It's your boy Mike Geesh, and I'm back again, y'all. Yeah, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, about 2 days ago, we all know that, actually over the weekend, Jay-Z did a freestyle where he basically did a rap about several of his ops in the industry. One being, of course, your boy Drake. So he did a freestyle about Drake. I think he hinted at Damon Dash in there. Hinted at a couple of other people. He said something about MAGA. So anyway, this freestyler's got everybody buzzing about it and talking about it, right? So Akademiks, DJ Akademiks, flamed Jay-Z up. Flamed him up, right? I'm talking about this might be the most that I've ever heard anybody get on Jay-Z ass. Pause. Like, seriously. Outside of Ether, he got Ether. Akademiks ethered Jay-Z. I have to say he did, man. So we're just gonna listen to a little bit of Akademiks and his wrap up of his response to people responding to him, to his ether of Jay-Z. This is his response, and we're gonna stop a little bit, and I'm gonna give my opinion on everything. We'll do it like that. Yeah.
They're a little bit confused. They're confused and hurt, and I will say that because I see a lot of people reacting to me. They're confused and hurt. So Jay-Z, who we all know did a freestyle at the Roots picnic, I see a lot of people hurt on my opinion or my takeaway from the freestyle, right? If you didn't hear me break it down, I believe it's on YouTube, but I'll give you my overall thoughts. I thought this is the most aggressive I've ever seen Jay-Z rap. And I won't call him necessarily fully unhinged, but it didn't feel like he had that normal Jay-Z Hove swag that we're kind of used to. Seemed angry, but he did announce in an interview earlier he was angry this year. So, it's true to form. It's not being performative. However, what people are talking about, and, people hate when I kind of mention this, there's been no relevant hip-hop topics in the last 2.5 years unless it is centered around one person. I'm telling you, hip-hop is in an abysmal state. I think we're coming out of it. But the reality, no matter if you like it or not, there's nothing that has garnered any attention other than concentrating on one particular person, whether you like him, hate him. He's the common denominator of everything that becomes newsworthy for any amount of time.
I have to agree with him on that. I mean, ever since the battle between Kendrick and Drake, hip-hop has just been in an abysmal state. Nothing has really been happening. I remember me and my homeboy was talking about this like even a few months ago, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. It's just like, damn, man, there's nothing going on in rap music. Like that battle, the aftermath of that battle really put hip hop into a different state. All these snitching allegations and stuff just start pouring out even more. And Atlanta, where I'm from, has really been out of the game. Nobody has really been doing anything. The last couple of albums that came out of Atlanta were not the greatest albums. So yeah, hip hop needed a boost, and Iceman definitely has given hip hop that needed boost that it needed because the energy was really down. But let's get back to this.
Jay-Z threw a lot of shots. Do I think Jay-Z was cloud chasing? No. I don't think Jay-Z was cloud chasing. There's part of hip hop that look at Jay in a Michael Jordan sense. So they feel offended when you're not bowing on your knees, and half of them are getting paid by Jay-Z some way, somehow. So, he's like, they're puppets for him. But my opinion was that this was cool. I give it a light 7. This is light 7. It was cool. He got a couple shots off. He took shots at Kanye, Dame Dash, Oskino. He took shots at Drake, Nicki Minaj. and Tory Lanez. And I thought it was cool.
Light 7 is crazy, by the way. Light 7, but I have to agree. Light 7, it didn't shake up the world or nothing, man. It's too old school. It's like Jay, well, I'm gonna let Akademiks gonna say it. Jay, one of my favorite rappers. I think Jay is top 5, great top 5 all time. My top 5 is Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and Lil Wayne. That's my top 5, rappers of all time. But yeah, Jay-Z is like, it was, it just seemed too old and, no beat behind it or whatever. But anyway, let's keep it going. But it was cool. I agree. Light 7.
Nothing to phone home about. And I'm going to be honest with you, with the exception of Tory Lanez, nothing to respond to by any of these rappers. I think Kanye's fighting a different fight. He doesn't need to respond to Jay-Z. But can Jay-Z say whatever he wants to say? Kanye's talked a lot of shit. It's okay. I don't even think Nicki should respond, even though I believe she will. And I think, if I was going to give her overall advice, she should. But she should respond on her time. There's a faction of hip hop that actually thinks that, this slam poetry type of delivery requires niggas to be in the booth and they're on the clock. I beg to differ. It's not happening. We're in a different era. And I saw those mouthpieces for hip hop and those type of people they were really excited again. I hear one guy, I won't even I won't even dignify him with even naming him. He's like, yo, this freestyle has gotten people looking back up into Jay-Z's history. No one's doing that. It's not that serious. I'm sorry to tell you. There's not one Jay-Z song that's charting today. None. So the impact of it is that we got a cool 24 hours of media. But even today, which now feels like almost like we're going to 48 hours or whatever, this story will be definitely fucking gone after 72 hours. It'll be out of here, which if it's something real, it won't, right? We've seen the battle lasted for 2 years. This shit will be a distant memory in a few days. I think Drake should pay this guy dust. I think Kanye should ignore him. Kanye has bigger fish to fry. Kanye's fighting countries. This guy is obsessed with.
I agree. I don't think anybody should really respond because, what Jay-Z said, even though it was cool, it didn't shake up anything. It was cool, man. But, and I don't think Jay-Z intended to do that. I don't think his intentions were to necessarily shake anything up, but just to put his 2 cents into it or what he thought. But, I don't remember hearing on Drake album him really dissing Jay-Z. I remember he said something about Hov, but it wasn't really a diss. He was saying that people were going to Hov to ask him for advice. And I think he was talking about had asked Hov for some advice. I think he was talking about J. Cole in that verse. So I think that line was more about J. Cole than Jay-Z. But I know him and Jay-Z and Drake has had their past issues or whatever, But anyway, keep it going.
Twitter accounts and Grand Wizard chat nigga. I'm sorry to say. Again, and I've seen some of the criticisms even of me. They're like, yo, how could you talk about Hov like that? He's a billionaire. Brother, I'm going to tell you exactly what just happened. And I know the 45-year-old plus audience that is desperate for this to be a moment. Now they're tweeting at me like, tell your guy to come out and play. He's been baiting Hov. Tell him to come out and play. No, he's not. He's not coming out to play ball with senior citizens. That's not happening. This is the part of the All-Star game where you have LeBron, you have Vince Carter, you have the greatest dunk.
Man, a senior citizen, man. Come on, bro. I mean, Jay-Z older than me, but I am over 45. I'm just over 45, bro. So don't call me no senior citizen, bro. I ain't senior citizen yet, man. I'm getting up though, but I ain't no senior citizen. And I ain't looking for Jay-Z none. I feel the same way you feel. Light work. Come on.
They're dunking from the free throw line. And then all of a sudden, they say right before we announce the All-Stars or the people in the dunk contest, could we all salute Bill Russell? And he comes out with a cane and we say he's one of the greatest. He's good. We love him. Without him, we wouldn't have had the league we had now. And after we usher him to the handicap seating that's in every fucking arena, we actually get to the athletes that are current who are jumping from the free throw line. Okay? Not the guy that's just not that guy. It's okay. So for the people who love Jay-Z, I do want to apologize to you. I shouldn't step on the moment for us to acknowledge someone who historically, you know why? You see the songs that bump today? They're 25 years old. They're a quarter century. We should show Jay some respect. But please, miss me with this whole thing of thinking the guy who basically is the senior citizen and we haven't seen this guy really play a full game of basketball in years could compete with the current MVP. He's not playing Wemby, okay? He's not playing Wemby. We love Hakeem Olajuwon, but he's not rocking versus Wemby. It's like, you know what? You seeing Jay-Z and a few people he brought on stage, it was like watching Shaq and Charles Barkley like mess around on TNT. Yes, made us feel good. But that's about it.
This man compared Jay-Z to Shaq and Charles Barkley, man. Come on, Act, man. You on that shit, man. You wildin', bro. But, I mean, I guess it is in terms of, it's the 90s. I mean, the 90s was a long time ago, in the early 2000s. Late 90s and late 90s, early 2000s, a long time ago. That's when Shaq dominated. And, of course, Charles in the 90s. 90s, early 2000s. So it's very accurate, academic. It just sounds so funny. But it's accurate, yeah. That's basically who it is. That would be like Shaq trying to, like you said, trying to get with women. Or trying to get with, I don't know, man. Kawhi, somebody out there, man.
Back in the day, and this is for the nostalgic crowd. Back in the day, niggas were thirsty. Like, people would... Like, think about the game back in like 2006 or whatever. When the very thought that Jay-Z was thinking about him, that nigga went in the booth trying to rap all type of shit. Like, you could tell it was so exciting that Jay-Z was even thinking about him. But I'm trying to tell y'all, that was 20 years ago. Jay-Z just did this shit. Not one person even put up a Instagram post responding to this nigga. They just don't care. They just don't care. I'm sorry. So... unfortunately, I think the crowd that likes him have to also acknowledge that while I do think y'all should enjoy the nostalgia and, Jay did some of the things they did well. By the way, he did a good performance. I watched the whole thing. We got to just be cognizant. This just no longer is his time. I'm sorry to tell you, it's no longer his time. It's the equivalent of Shaq hopping back on the court right now. Just not your time anymore, buddy. It's okay. We could still give you praises.
All right, y'all. That's all I had for y'all, man. I just wanted to see y'all talk about Jay-Z. It was kind of funny, man, comparing Shaq to Jay-Z to Shaq and Charles Barkley and all them, man, and even Bill Russell. God, dog, he ain't that old, man. Bill Russell would be more like Curtis Blow or somebody like that, or Run DMC or something, But I get it. Yeah, the time is up, Jay-Z. Time is up. I think Jay-Z knows that. Everybody knows that. But, you still want to, if you can, this is not exactly like getting on the court, because you're getting on the court, you're using your body, and your body is older. But, if your mind is still intact, you can still rap. I'm sure that Eminem could still lyrically slice somebody in half. You know what I'm saying? So, could have just been a better freestyle. I don't think it's age necessarily. Could have been a better freestyle, but I get it. So anyway, yeah, what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think Jay-Z too damn old to be up here trying to inject himself into what's going on today? Let me know what y'all think. I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Mike Geesh. Peace.